The essential questions for this lesson are: how do stoichiometric ratios relate reactants and products in a chemical reaction? How are stoichiometric ratios used to predict the amounts of reactants and/or products? And how can dimensional analysis be used to express stoichiometric ratios? By the end of this video, you should be able to use stoichiometric ratios to convert between different substances with various units. Once again, here is the extended stoichiometric mole roadmap. This is on the back of the front page of your packet. Notice we can start with any of the three types of measurements that we had used before: particles, mass, or volume. Our first step is always to go from whatever unit we started with to moles of the thing that we know. So to go from particles to moles, we use 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. To go from mass to moles, we use the molar mass. And volume to moles, we're going to use the 22.4, just like we did in the previous unit. Once you have moles of one thing, you're going to go from that to moles of the thing that you are actually looking for. To do this, you are going to use the coefficients from the balanced chemical equation. And then the final step is to get from moles to whatever unit you're looking for. For particles, again, use 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. For mass, use the molar mass. For volume, use 22.4 liters. The only step that you are always going to have in every single stoichiometric problem is the moles of one thing to moles of another. Every problem that you do is definitely going to have that. Now, if you start with moles, you can leave this entire first step off because you're starting here. If you're trying to find moles, you don't have to do the last step because you're going to be ending here. But every single question is going to have that step in it. So if you don't start with moles, your first step is get to moles. Then use the chemical equation and plug in with the coefficients. And your third step, if you are not ending with moles, convert from moles to whatever unit you're looking for. So if you start with moles, you're able to omit the first step. If you end with moles, you're able to omit the last step. So your problems can be anywhere from 1 step to 3 steps. If you start with a unit other than moles and end with moles, you'll have the first step and the second step, but not the third. If you start with moles, but you're trying to find something other than moles, you'll have the second step and the third step, but you've skipped the first step. So your problems can either be 1, 2, or 3 steps.